Welcome back to another episode in the area of connection and isolation in our depression series. So, again, this area is all about noticing your social needs. And this video in particular is about making room for meaningful connection. So, that really does mean quality over quantity. And again, these videos are to help hopefully decrease our depression, decrease those behaviors that go with depression that perhaps we don't really want to have, and increase our healthier, more positive behaviors so we can do the work that we need to on ourselves in order to become the version of who we want to be in the end. So, have you ever felt lonely in a crowd? You know this truth that being around people doesn't always equal connection. And in depression, the pressure to be social can feel exhausting for us, right? But meaningful connection isn't about how many people we see in a day or in a month. It's about how seen we feel when we are with those people. And so in this episode, it's going to be about redefining connection through depth, not value, and learning how to nourish your nervous system with relationships that feel safe, simple, and sincere for us. So where do we even start here? Well, the loneliness of surface level interactions. So depression often makes us hypersensitive to disconnection, and casual small talk or social obligations can leave us feeling even more alone. There's no real connection there. These are kind of like more saved for if we're going to get coffee, go to the grocery store, right? We have a waiter or waitress when we eat out. Those are the surface level interactions in life. And so when the inner world feels heavy for us, conversations without depth can feel disorienting or even painful. And maybe for some people, it makes them even feel like they need to perform for some reason, right? To make it up, to go from surface level to something deeper, but of course that just exhausts us more. And so let's reframe this. It's not that I don't want people, it's that I want connections that feel real to me. And here's a prompt for you. Think of a time when a simple, honest moment made you feel deeply connected. And what about that situation made it meaningful for you? So where do we go next after we understand the loneliness of surface level interactions? Well, we create a filter for safe connection. And so not everyone deserves access to your vulnerable self, and that's really okay. It's okay to have only a few people that you're vulnerable with, because that really does take a lot from us when we're giving and allowing somebody to see our inner selves and our inner problems that we have. And like I said, not everybody needs to be in that area. And so it's really important to understand how to bring somebody into your vulnerability, and really should understand if they should even be there. And so we're going to build a gentle internal filter, and we're going to ask some questions for ourselves. Do I feel safe being honest with this person? So that means if I tell this person something, are they going to share it with other people? Are they going to keep it between us? That's one of the other questions you can ask there when understanding, is it safe to be honest with somebody? And do they respond with curiosity or with judgment, right? Because if somebody's responding with judgment, it's going to be really hard to be vulnerable with them. If they're more curious and want to understand more why you're where you're at, or whatever situation you discussed with them, then that's great, because they want to get to know you better. And can you be quiet, silly? Can you be sad? Can you be unsure around this person without any pressure at all? And this isn't about exclusion, right? It's about self-protection in a nourishing way. So practice this. Identify 1 to 2 green light people who make you feel safe. And if you're going to journal this, or even if you're just going to think about 1 to 2 people, think about why they make you feel safe, or journal down why they make you feel safe. And really, you're building a quality list. If you think about it, we do that for a romantic partner that we want, right? Why can't we do that for a friendship as well? What are we looking for in the friendships that we want or that we currently have? And so, where do we go after we create a filter for safe connection? Well, we cultivate small, meaningful touch points. And meaningful connection doesn't need to be long or deep every time. It could look like this: sending a friend a song that made you think of them, sharing a 2-sentence check in without pressure to reply, or sitting with someone in silence while you both do your own thing. And now that, of course, we have social media and memes, short videos out there, it could be sharing one of those with some people that you want to connect with. So it's the intention, not the intensity, that creates the connection. So try this mantra. Small moments can hold deep meaning. So let's recap and wrap up. We discussed the loneliness of surface level interaction. We discussed that creating a filter for safe connection is a really healthy boundary to have for us, and that then we can in turn, once we identify our safe people, create small, meaningful touch points for ourselves. So you don't need dozens of people. You don't need to force deep conversations when you're not ready. You just need safe, steady, nourishing connection that honors where you are. So let go of the pressure to perform socially. Here's our comment section. You can comment on anything on this video, on anything about noticing your social needs, making room for meaningful connection, or on any other heavy emotion that you may have, or any other thing really going on in your life at this moment. And if you're having a hard time kind of wondering, what do I comment on? Here is a question for you. What is one filter that you have to understand safe connections for yourself? So remember, choose depth, choose intention, choose kindness for yourself and those that you let in. You deserve connection that doesn't ask you to be anything other than real. So if you liked this video at all, of course, please like it, comment on it, subscribe to the channel. And if you feel that anybody could benefit from this video on making room for meaningful connection, please go ahead and share it with them. And if you stayed for this moment, well, here it is. Here's the journals that I have created in the children's book. These journals are really a hand-in-hand tool to go along with these videos to help you increase your positive behaviors that you want and decrease any of those negative behaviors. There's an anxiety journal, there's a self-love, self-discipline, and self-discovery journal, and there's a beach journal on 12 areas of your life with journal prompts for each of those areas that tie it into the beach theme. Of course, there'll be more journals to come, and then there's a children's book that has to do with discovering bravery, courage, and an inner spark. And then there's worksheets, of course, at the end for your little ones who will probably need help filling it out, but they get to write about and discover their own spark, their own bravery, and their own courage, which will hopefully help plant those seeds that what we have on the inside is what we need to help us through those tough times. Of course, there's also a children's workbook that will be coming out shortly to help kids with their emotions, discovering what those are and how to regulate them. So thank you again for watching this video.